Wow.
Well, I
So
guess we're welcome to part two. No, it still says off air to me.
oh, it's live. We're live now. We cannot see you except for your picture, though, Bob. So I'm going to continue using the screen share feature to give the audience a feel of who's speaking and what you look like and how real and wonderful you are. Okay.
All right, well, welcome to part two. And just to finish the story really quickly about my lovely wife, um, it wouldn't have happened if I hadn't have been, um, you know, dreaming. And I read a book called The Magic of Thinking Big. And since that time, I've studied people that thought big, okay, Edison and um, uh, Richard Branson. This is a guy that thinks big. You gotta, if you haven't read Bill Gates's annual letter from his charity, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, you should go there and read that letter. You can find it online. These people think big. I mean, big. The Alibaba people, the Google people, all of these people, they thought really big. And it all started with a simple idea. But you got to expand your mind to the possibilities of what can happen, and then embrace those and declare to yourself with acclamations that you deserve it. There's no difference between you and Edison, or you and Einstein, and you and Richard Branson. There's no difference. And somehow, Robert says, I was able to attract this beautiful, financially independent, just a passionate, tremendous woman into my life. But if I hadn't read the books and done this, it wouldn't have happened. I know it wouldn't have happened. Now get this. After we were able to communicate, I found out that not only had I written down the perfect woman for me, she had done it in her journal. She had a page where she wrote down, and something moved her to write down the perfect man for her in her life. And she did that, and we had a great conversation about how we seemed to fit together so well. There she is. That's my free spirit wife right there.
Yeah.
And that's outside our. We have a beach apartment, and we love to spend time there. It's about 4 to 5 blocks from the beach. It's not on the beach, but we can see the ocean. And you see how she is. She's just an incredible person.
Yeah.
And I had no way of knowing or making it happen other than, like you said, Paul, releasing the energy to make it happen. So I couldn't convince her to marry me. We couldn't talk. We sat for weeks with our 2 laptops and Google Translator, talking back and forth, as people that don't have hearing, talk. I mean, it was the same kind of feeling. But now
I
we
think
both.
one of the things I saw in you and Lupita, Bob, and the reason why on the part one of our conversation, I had a trailer of a video that you made about your life and about you guys both living your dream, and that picture of her wide open arms, with the waves behind her. That's in that video. I don't know if you remember when you made that video, but that's actually a trailer that we used on the part one side of the video of the Google Hangout conversation. We could speak all day about the power of visualization and the law of attraction, and yet there's going to be people in our audience that are looking at this and saying he became a Success in Minutes superstar because he has all this education, all these skills, all this mindset and learning that he's done. How could I even come close to the success that he's had with Unlimited Profits? When in reality, Unlimited Profits and the Success in Minutes program was created to not only simplify, but to make it duplicatable for anyone from any walk of life to embrace their full potential. So if you could take some people through the steps, say there's some people that are watching this and they're just getting involved with the limited profits and the Success in Minutes program online, what would you tell them is the best way to approach their success?
Well, I'm back to that quote: "You have to be before you can do, and you have to do before you can have."
Absolutely.
You know, unlimited profits provides the discipline, the encouragement, the videos that teach you the skills. Um, it's the doing part. Robert he exemplifies the being part. Bill Ebert, Robert Hollis, Paul. It's who are you and what do you want? Unlimited Profits gives you the means to get it. So you start going through the program, watching the videos, and letting it help you expand your mind. Those videos and Robert's background in training, we're talking decades of his personal studies and his personal experiences at really how to learn to think differently. And you begin to think differently as you're going through those videos. Now, Robert Hollis has never stopped, as he shared on the pro call last night. The mentors that he follows now, you know, because he's always stretching his mind. He's always looking for people that think bigger than he does. And that's the attitude that you need to approach unlimited profits. Anyone can be successful in unlimited profits if they have an open mind and they allow themselves to grow. And I'm not talking about physically grow. I'm talking about emotionally, psychologically, mentally grow. You know, be open-minded about new concepts and new ideas. And we've watched people that just had not had a lot of success in many other aspects of life just completely change. Not quickly. Some it's taken years.
So you're saying it's as simple as giving you my email address or putting my email address onto the computer and then logging into the Unlimited Profits site, watching some of these videos that we've shown, scroll down, day 28, day 29, click on play, watch it, click on the vote, and then share it, and all of a sudden you start making money? I mean, really?
What happens is this, okay? You know, when we talk about you know, what you might call success and I might call success, it may be different for each person. Each person can have a different idea of what success is for them. But it's really important that your mindset be right. You can't, success is not defined as where you are or where you've been. Success is only defined as the pathway to where you are going. For example, Edison did not say, "I'm tired of the dark." You never heard him say anything about that when he was inventing the light bulb. You know, he was looking forward to, you know, and he wasn't complaining about the dark or, you know, so this is like people complaining about their jobs or complaining about where they live. You know, that's not what gets you to where you're going. What gets you to where you're going is seeing where you're going. You've got to have that visualization. That's what visualization.
Right.
That's it's important.
Absolutely.
You're right.
Absolutely.
But now your question was, is it that simple? The visualization is part of who you are, working on the being part. And then the doing part is somewhat routine in that you watch these videos, and some of us, like me, listen, I've watched some of these over and over and over. And I had Jim Rowan's 12-track audio, you know, how to make a fortune in network marketing. I had that on my phone. I know I played that over 100 times. I know at least 100 times. And I could play it again today, and I'm sure I would hear something a little different than what I heard the last time. You never stop growing and changing. And that's the process that you start with unlimited profits. You just got to be patient with yourself.
And this is all free.
And it's free. Now, here's the point. At some point, you begin to realize, you know what? There's a lot of people out there that could really benefit from this.
Right.
So instead of you starting to think about making money yourself, You just sort of start sharing it with people that you think would benefit from it, or that could, as Robert uses the indirect approach, you ask people, if it were using the $1,000,000 question, who they might know that could use some extra money or would like to be a little happier in their life, and you get led to some of these people, or directed or referred to some of these people, and maybe you find somebody that they're more aggressive at needing change than you, and the process starts.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk about Robert Hollis, or not Bobby, but Robert Hollis. He is this multimillionaire, a mentor to 45 millionaires already, and most people look at him driving the Rolls Royce, and they would not think that he's really about giving stuff away for free, would they?
Robert is a very, very, very unusual person. And, if I said Robert bought that Rolls Royce, and I was so blessed that I was there with him that day.
Mm-hmm.
But when he bought the Rolls Royce, he didn't buy it for his wife. And he really didn't buy it for himself. And you know Robert just as well as I do. He bought that Rolls Royce as a symbol for us. As a symbol for us to demonstrate what can be achieved. Now, does he enjoy driving it? Who wouldn't? You open the car door, and it's got this little knob on the edge of the door, and you pull it. The door is so big, when you pull this thing out, it's a full-length umbrella that's stored in the door. I mean, how many people have an umbrella in their door? Okay?
Yeah.
And it's not for Robert when he's driving the Rolls. That umbrella's there for the chauffeur to open the umbrella when he lets you out of the back seat. Does that drive the point home? I mean, but if you know Robert, and I know you know him, that's not Robert, the Rolls Royce. The Rolls Royce is a symbol of what you and I and anybody can do if we just open our minds and set our minds and we go to work. It does take work. And Robert has never stopped working on himself.
I've never met a man that works harder than Robert Hollis. And I have a father that worked 65 years as a butcher, and until I met Robert and got to know him, and honestly, I can tell you that the first 10 years I knew Robert, I wasn't convinced that he was a hard worker. But what I've seen in the last 10 years of how hard he's worked with the limited profits, my goodness, he has done so much to make this, including attract Bill Ebert and some other wonderful people, and then to put in place a legacy that if anything happened to Robert or Bill, this company would go on. Robert Hollis Jr., my goodness. He's like a clone of Robert. It's like history repeating itself, Robert Jr. now has a beautiful baby, a son named Ryder. Robert was a single dad at one time with Robert Jr. And look what's happening. They found a way to help other people through their own adversity and focused on how they could positively change the world. One person, one heart at a time, one soul at a time. So when they set up this program, they also put in place a $15 and a $99 access point, I'll just say. Is that really how everybody makes the money, is on that, or what is it?
Well, let me say this, first of all, before we finish with Robert. Robert is the most transparent, genuine person that I know that I have ever met, without any question. And I met him in 1995, and we have spent many, many hours together, personally as well as on the phone. and I've never met another person like him. And what I've got to say is that as people are around him, the more they're around him, the more they watch their videos, the more they recognize that he's just a simple guy. He did a couple of things in practice, getting them really, really, really down pat. Couple of simple things, and that he could do over and over and over again. And that is what he teaches us, and that is what produces the results. We're looking for people that are already looking for what we have. We're not trying to sell or convince anyone. So those different price points are there. The free, where you could sign up for free and actually get commissions. This is sort of unheard of in the industry, but it's there because Robert believes in taking away people's excuses, their barriers.
Right, right.
You know, and so well, I don't know enough people. My goodness, that used to be an excuse. Not anymore. The average person knows a couple of hundred people on Facebook and could easily know a couple hundred more. So that excuse is taken away. Well, I don't have a lot of education. You don't need a lot of education. The principles that we teach are very, very simple principles. It's about building relationships. and well, you know what? I don't have any money. Great. You don't need any money to get started. And Paul, you told me yesterday that you had proven that to yourself, starting, and building and having people sign up and upgrade and so forth, and working your way up through the system and proving that it works, because it does work. So you don't need to think about spending money. What you think about is growing yourself, which, there's hundreds of hours of free material that's just designed to help you grow. And when you get to a point where you're making enough money, or you can afford, or you see the value of spending the money, then you can spend the money, the $15 a month, for the contact manager and the blogging system. And you, of course, then you increase your commission percentages. And then you also see the value of going on to be a pro. There's nothing like getting Robert's personal attention, and the pro members get that. And it's, you get his cell phone, you get personal time with him, personal training, 22 hours of training, I think it is. I think it's 27 hours of training that was designed just for the pro members. And the access that you have as a pro member, and what can I say? It's definitely worth the money. You cannot find a multimillionaire. And I want to go back one step, about Robert. There are many top leaders in network marketing, and I've known them. There are many people that earn millions. But when you go to them and say, can you give me an example of somebody that you've mentored that's making $1 million a year, they can't do it. Okay, well, let's just give me a list of the people that are making 6 figures a year. And they can't do that either. Well, just give me a list of the people that have walked away from their full-time jobs because of your mentorship. And Robert Hollis starts to stand out, because it's not just 45 millionaires. Those people that are making $1 million a year can easily show you people that they've helped make 6 figures a year. And they can easily show you the thousands of people that have walked away from their jobs, like me. And because ever since I got trounced, I have not been back as an employee, and it's because of the training that I got from Robert Hollis. So, I can't say, I don't want to make him sound like he's a god, but I can tell you that he mastered some very simple techniques that he teaches that anyone, if they follow the system, can master. And if they are open-minded and they grow a little bit and they learn how to share, they will attract people as needy and as ambitious, or maybe more so than them, and the system begins to kick in, and the checks begin to come in. So, I want to share this. I've made a lot of money in unlimited profits. And I know that a lot of people think it's about the money because they got to pay the rent and they got the cars in the shop and all of those things. But when you can start your day about, who am I going to be today? As Tony Robbins would say, who can I help? How can I make my family happy today? Who can I help today? And when you have that attitude of putting other people first, like Robert does, and he has every day of his life, then look at the possibility of the results.
Okay, so you mentioned you've made a lot of money with unlimited profits. What was your check last month?
Okay, my check last month was $457.
Okay.
Okay, why is
That
it
doesn't sound
important?
like a lot of money last month, but over the years, I've noticed that you've had checks that have gone as high as $3,500 a month, correct?
That is correct. Yeah,
All right.
I was the top money earner for a long time in unlimited profits.
Right.
Um, then for several reasons, we tried some different things. We were trying to help some other companies with marketing, and I did
Good.
not focus the time on unlimited profits. But I'm back now, and I really appreciate the people that are making $2,000 a month, and I want to encourage everybody. There is no upper limit. And when
Right.
I made the 3,500, we did not have the comp plan we have today.
Right. Right.
Okay, so now that we have the comp plan, as of January, we're full on. And no, my goal is to be six figures, and just again prove Robert's concepts work. And if they work for me, believe me, they can. Because it's one thing to learn these techniques and so forth, but think of how much I had to unlearn going
Exactly.
through all the academic work that I did.
Right.
The different colleges I went to.
Right.
I had to unlearn a lot of stuff.
So what I wanted to emphasize there with our audience is that um, your income is not based on anyone else's efforts but your own. And we have a choice every day as to where we want to invest our time. You spent a lot of time sharing about visualization and focusing, and then also doing, like going through the routine, just like Robert teaches. A couple key things, three, four things, do them every day with a heart for serving, and you're going to get results. And then the system provides that tool to everyone to access, and they can go as high as they want in the compensation plan, um, just simply watching the videos, sharing their links, and doing the homework. Because Robert does ask you to do some homework, like write out your vision, and Bill talks about writing out your vision with lots of detail. And then in the mentoring on the pro show, you're a pro now, so you've upgraded to the pro level, which is $99 a month, or you could do the full year for $997. You were on a show last night with Robert. What was that like?
Well, for those people that are just learning about unlimited profits for the first time, I don't know if you've ever had a chance to actually sit down with a multimillionaire and have coffee.
Yeah, yeah. Not
Well, let
many
me
people have. Not
let me
many
tell
people have.
not many people have. So I was just talking to a gentleman yesterday. He's in another company. He's got many, many, many top leaders under him in that company. And I said, can you imagine going in and sitting down with the president, with the CEO of that company? He said, it's impossible. You can't do it. And you see, becoming a pro member, it's not just about paying $99. There's something. I mean, you're paying for 30 years of this guy's training and education, and you're getting all of it. I mean, it's you can't put a price tag on what Robert Hollis teaches. It changes lives. I found my wife. Robert Hollis Jr. found his wife because of these techniques that Robert Sr. teaches. It's like, whoa. So when we say this touches all aspects of your life, believe me, I know people that pay the $99 just for the education, just for that. But what
Right.
it was like last night is Robert is always looking on the cutting edge of where everything's going with technology, what is happening in the world, and he was talking about the Facebook groups now, and first of all, the billions of people that are on Facebook, and just the number of people that are in Facebook groups is just a staggering number now. So the ability to work around the world to reach people in all these countries where they're not bombarded with opportunities like we are here. and there's very few opportunities that because there's a physical product or there's legal reasons or whatever.
Right.
But unlimited profits, literally right now, the only limitation is whether people have high-speed internet. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
And so, the show last night was exciting because there's people now in South Africa, of course, literally all around the world now are beginning to join. And to them, it's honestly not about making money as much as it is, it's like a light. It's like a bright light. It's a whole new dawn for them because they've never had anything like this before.
He really is a transformer of people's minds and hearts. When I think about what he's done in documenting his success and how over just a short period of time, how many hundreds of thousands of people continue to follow him, and how we are adding close to I think we're over 600 people a day joining this organization. That's like phenomenal. I mean, he did that with another company not even 7 years ago, and he's showing that he can do it again with a team of people that are so enthusiastic because there's a compensation plan now like really nothing anybody else has out there. What do we pay back? About 87% of the money that comes in, correct?
Yeah, because the company is a virtual company and we have, very low costs, then yeah, he's announced that we've paid out 87%. Whether we can continue to do that as the company grows, not sure. But yes, we pay out a substantial amount of the income, but commensurate with that, the benefits that people receive of being plugged in, of getting the daily encouragement, of getting the recognition when they do achieve something. How can you put a price on that? It's just amazing. I want to go back to the concept of for a person, can anybody really do this? Anybody can do this. There are people that don't speak English that are doing it, even though this is in English.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody can learn these concepts and apply them. And the key, I really think, it gets back to this. There's a mental shift that goes on because most of us enter thinking about ourselves because we've got to pay the bills. It's just that simple. We all have bills. But I want you to imagine for a minute, Robert Hollis has everything on autopilot. All his bills are paid automatically.
Right.
He's got, I don't know what his limit is on his American Express card, but his bills they're all, his card's on file. He never gets a physical bill.
Right.
He doesn't get bills in the mail. I want people to just think about that for a minute. The bills are all paid by the credit card, and so he has an online bill that gets generated, and he can print it out if he wants to. But my point is this. He never misses a payment. His credit is perfect. His credit rating, perfect. He never misses nothing. And well, you got to think about the possibilities of what life would be like that if you didn't have to worry as you're driving down the highway where you stop for gas. When you go in the restaurant and you look down the menu, which side of the menu do you look down? Do you look down the first? Do you look down the list of things that are on the menu, or do you look down the list of prices first? Can you imagine? Can you imagine taking your kids in a store and saying, okay, kids, we've got about 25 minutes, go find some stuff, and don't spend over $200 or $300 each. He took his wife to a mall. I remember this. And he said, here, Terry. And he gave her a card. And he said, just go get what you want. Now, I know the mall he went to. This is an amazing upscale mall. I mean, we're talking stores there that outside of New York City, there's no other place where there's stores like that. And she's walking around for 3 hours in the mall. And how would you like to be able to do those things? And so when you can live life in with the idea that, you know what, it could be me. He was just a broke auto mechanic. He just read a book. He just went to the first meeting. He just paid attention. He took notes. He still has those notes today. And Paul, you've seen those stacks of leather journals he has.
Yep. Yep.
And he still goes back and reviews those notes.
Yeah.
Why? Because he's still growing.
Yes, that's right.
And so, what would Robert Hollis have as goals? Maybe it's $1 million a month. Do you think he can achieve that? I know he can.
Sure. So
I hope everybody out there
with about 4 minutes left on our show here, what would you say is probably the best way people can get in touch with you, with me, and to join our team? You started a team called Eagle Team Worldwide. And we haven't talked about the vision in a while because you've been really busy with this other project, but I see things happening right now that maybe our audience would like to know what that vision is for Eagle Team Worldwide. Could you share that in the next 3 minutes, please?
Well, let me give you an idea of a big vision, okay? Really quickly.
Okay.
Polio has been eliminated. Many of us as kids, we had to have polio, vaccine, we have all of that stuff. Polio has virtually been eliminated. If you go and read what Bill Gates is doing, now his quest is to eliminate malaria. Malaria is the biggest killer in the world right now. It's not cancer, it's malaria. And so his quest is to eliminate malaria. Now, we're such little thinkers. We want a car. When I talk about thinking big, I'm talking about thinking big. So if I give you my vision or Robert's vision, there's going to be big visions, but it doesn't matter. What's important is your vision. Thank you for putting that up on the screen, Paul. But, it's your vision. It's your personal vision. So if you won the lottery and you got $20,000 a month coming in, what would you do? What would you do tomorrow? What would you do the first month with your $20,000? What would you do the second month? Now, you've already paid off your credit cards. Maybe you've already taken a week's vacation. Now, what are you going to do? The third month, the fourth month, it keeps coming in. The fifth month, the sixth month. Now, what are you going to do? At some point, you go, oh, gosh, I really need to take care of I really feel bad that I never could pay so-and-so. And you go and you pay off old debts and stuff. You even think of old obligations that you'd forgotten about. And you take care of those. Now what? Before you know it, you got another $40,000 in the bank account. And you see, that's the way we need to think about unlimited profits. Why? Because it's happening. And Robert's goal was to just tiny make a dent in the history of the world. That's all. Just make a tiny change. And if we can shift people so that, as Bill Gates did, his tiny little goal was to have people spend more time on their PC than on their TV. Guess what? Guess what? We all now spend more time on our PC because we got a PC phone, we got a PC, we got a laptop, we got tablets, or we got Google Glasses. We spend more time on a PC, and now I guess there's a watch coming out, than we do our TV. We even have PCs in our car. So, it's all about what you personally want to achieve. Because the lump sum total of what you, me, Paul, and every person in Unlimited Profits wants to achieve, that's the dent in humanity that Unlimited Profits. It's the sum total. It isn't just what Robert or I want to achieve. And when we look at what we all can achieve, what if all of us could just tithe 10%? Oh my God.
It's amazing. Well, Bob, I'll tell you, I think this was a perfect way to close it out with a global view of how we can be global citizens. And I like how you suggested Malaria No More. And I know Bill and Melinda Gates are really passionate about this. But what has happened is they casted a vision and other people followed. I believe the Case Foundation relates to the gentleman that started America Online, AOL. Gosh, who remembers the internet browser AOL? Still around.
Oh
But
yeah.
there's so many billionaires in the world today that started out just like Robert Hollis, helping a couple people, casting a vision, and a whole lot of people found value in following and leading in this organization. So what I'm excited about is what is going to happen, because the best is yet to come. With unlimited profits, we have no limits, just like it says, unlimited profits. And with the right team, with the right people that care about helping just the average person get ahead in life, pay a couple bills. I'm trying to do this while I'm speaking, and I am getting better at this. Let's see, here I am. Come on, Paul. Right, there we go. Thank you for your patience, audience. Bob, thank you so much for taking the time to share this with everyone. They can find us obviously at www.passionforsharing.com. As you continue to grow, how can people find you, Bob?
Well, you can find me on Facebook. I am a lifestyle student. You call me lifestyle professor, and that's an honor. But I went back to the name lifestyle student because I study lifestyles and how people got there. And that's what Robert does. And we'll always be students. But you can find me on Facebook, and my phone number's there. I welcome people to contact me. Email addresses are there. And to close it out, thank you very much, Paul. You're honestly, you have such a huge heart. I can only imagine, seriously, the impact you're going to have as you grow and as your income grows and what you're going to be able to do with it.
Well, thank you, Bob. You've been a good friend all along. I want to show everybody the lifestyle page.
It's Lifestyle Dreams.
Lifestyle Dreams, got it. And I think it's important for people to remember. Even this week, I had shared with everyone that I'm a student coach. Lifestyle Dreams. Where is it? It's not coming up.
Don't know.
Yeah.
Usually, if you type lifestyle, it's usually in the first group. So
yeah, it's usually in the first group. I know. Okay, here we go.
But I started that page because let me just go there. No, it's Lifestyle Dreams Community, and I started it because we don't dream enough. We just don't dream enough. And I mean, when I dream, I'm talking about not sleeping. I don't talk about that kind of dreaming. We got to dream and use our imagination. I mean, without imagination, we wouldn't have a light bulb. We wouldn't have a car, an airplane. Those all were ideas in people's minds. There wouldn't be an online community called Unlimited Profits without the ideas that were in Robert's mind. And so we need to think big. We need to dream. And that picture there, that it shows the flower. I mean, I don't know. That's a flower from the, as you know, Paul, from the
spa,
right.
From that spa that we went to in 2012. Right. Yeah.
Right. And I have that there to remind me and other people how you can't dream while you're driving. You can't dream sitting at the table with your family. You can't. You need a quiet, beautiful, tranquil place. Go to a park or someplace and let your mind run. You mean it's amazing, and then of course record it, write it down. You know, it's amazing what the
Wonderful,
potential
Bob.
is.
Thank you so much. Listen, everyone, it's already close to 1:30 on the East Coast. Thank you so much for taking the time to get on this show. And you just got a chance to meet one of the top producers and growing again with Success in Minutes, a superstar double diamond with unlimited profit, Success in Minutes. And find him at Lifestyle Dreams Community or Bob Cline on Facebook. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much, everyone. God bless.